Happy New Year, Buffs fans. Hope everything's going well up there in Boulder for you all and wherever else you all are. Appreciate you pulling up here at the prime time for college football the last couple years. We've surpassed 30,000 subs, so we appreciate each one of you. We've got some great stories for today, some fun stuff to talk about, as well as some transfer portal updates. It appears that the Buffs are going to have a few players pulling up this weekend, with one that they're trying to get scheduled, but makes sense for him to join everybody else on the 3rd through the 5th. We're going to dive into that. Bucky / Deion Sanders Jr. had a pretty funny joke about how the Buffs, I guess you could say, performed in the Alamo Bowl while the Prime effect showed in full effect at that game, because the Buffs set another record with Coach Prime and this team. So let's dive into that. So grab a snack. Let's chop it up here on the prime time for college football. This video is powered by our partners at BetUS. Check them out. They're hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit of $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. So we all know the Buffs got a lot of changes they're going to have to make, losing a couple of coaches. You know, some people kind of upset at me saying poach, but hey, they came after coaches from this staff that is getting a lot of attention. So I feel like it's poaching, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's not a bad thing. That's how coaching goes, right? Whenever you start to show that you can excel, especially as a young guy, others are going to try to come after you, offer you the biggest bag to get out there. No different than players. And I love seeing Coach Phil Loadholt as well as Coach Dancy get that opportunity back at Mississippi State. Shout out to them. But got to get back to work here in Boulder. And I know Coach Prime is working on a nice list. We've put together one. We'll talk about that later this week. And because that's when I filter through and see what makes the most sense. But from that, records were set. We'll talk about the records first. And then we're going to dive into the transfer portal and the 5 visitors that I know are coming and a 6 that I hope get scheduled to go through. But first off, Colorado did it again. Coach Prime did it again. The Buffs did it again. ESPN dropped their numbers for the most watched bowl games of the season so far. And, of course, you know who was number one. Once again, the number one game viewed was the Alamo Bowl, BYU, Colorado. And the point why I want to point that out is a lot of people forget that what Coach Prime does, people want to see it. People want to watch it. The Prime effect is real. They've had some of the highest viewed games all season long. The team, every time you talk about the team, the ratings go up. People are always talking about Coach Prime in Colorado. Heck, I have a channel dedicated to it because y'all love the content. Y'all love hearing about him. Y'all love talking about it. And that game did not end out the way that, Buffs fans would have liked, but it just shows the effect that he's having on college football. We even talked about it in another video with Philip Dukes. Make sure you go check out his channel, Dukes The Scoop. He's growing and doing a lot of content around recruiting, Colorado, and just college football in general. But everybody has all eyes on Prime in Colorado, and that's a big plus. That's fun. And for you Buffs fans, what that means is long-term, you're going to start seeing more and more recruits like the Juju Lewises of the world, like the Jordan Seatons of the world, that want to be a part of it. They want to come see if it's real whenever you get there on campus, and how the teaching goes and the style goes and the work ethic, if all of that's real. And a lot of them will learn that quick. And so Deion Sanders Jr. popped out this tweet, which I thought was pretty hilarious. He's like, damn, ain't many people saw us get clapped. Which I laughed because, at least he's finding the humor in such a awful game. The game was bad. But they understand that work needs to be done. This is just the beginning for what Prime is trying to do. So we'll see where this leads to. Let me know what y'all think. Is Prime effect real? How y'all feel about that with these? I mean, I'm giving the evidence, but it's up to you all to determine if you feel like it's true or not. Shout out to our partners over there at BetUS to hook you up. 150% bonus on your first deposit of $2,000. 125% bonus on your second and third deposits by using promo code YouTube150. And we are still in bowl season, and the NFL playoffs are about to start. So BetUS has got all the lines from that, as well as NBA action. So they can get you going no matter what your game is. even better, they have gamblers insurance. So if you, twice a year, they're going to hook you up with 10% back of your net losses just so you can keep yourself in the game. So if you want to keep going, play somewhere where they take care of the customer, they take care of their clients. Check out BetUS. 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your second and third deposits, all up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. BetUS, where the game begins. So Colorado's got about 6 dudes that are looking to get visits in. Let's jump into some of the players that got my attention. First and foremost, senior linebacker Martavius French. He went to UTSA. He's a senior from Memphis, Tennessee, 6'2", 2.25. And for the season, he finished with 52 solo tackles and a sack on the year. And so he is a part of the big group of players coming on January 3rd to 5th. That is when the visit moratorium is lifted, or the dead period is lifted for transfers. And so you're going to see more players getting on those visits over that weekend, especially once these last set of college football playoff games happen. After the games are over, the losing team, their players have 5 days to enter the portal at that point. So if you've committed to playing in the playoffs or in the bowl game, you're going to be in there. But once that's over, 5 days later is when you can actually, you have up to 5 days to hit the portal. And so Martavius French is one that's going to do a visit. He'll be here on the 3rd. And then the Buffs are also going to be shoring up that offensive line. So I saw there was like 5 dudes on the offensive line coming to visit, basically, but 4 dudes to go with French. You got Zylon Chrysler, the big Mississippi lineman from Illinois, played at Illinois, 6'6", 335, sorry, big boy. Adding him with Zarian McGill from Louisiana Tech, 6'2", 308-pounder. He's also native from Mississippi, so you got a couple of Mississippi boys pulling up. Georgia boy, William Boone, offensive tackle, 6'6", 340, from Georgia, played at Prairie View A&M, so he's coming from an HBCU. And then Brandon Snee, big junior lineman, 6'6", 320-pounder from Philadelphia, up at Wagner College. So you got 5 guys that look like they're going to be pulling up, per reports by Pete Nakos as well as Steve Wiltfong. They'll be in town to visit the 3rd through the 5th. And then there's one more player that the Buffs are working on trying to get to join them, which honestly makes sense for him to come through that weekend, which is going to be Tavian Coleman, defensive tackle out of Humboldt, Texas, plays at Texas State. He's a senior D tackle, 6'1", about 295, 300 pound. So nice size guy. He last season finished 9 solos, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. And so he has visits with Purdue as well as Cal over like the 6th and the 8th. And so, to be honest, visiting the 3rd through 5th makes a lot of sense over that weekend with those guys, because that's not only going to be a huge weekend, it's a great opportunity to, get a lot of dudes on campus that could potentially end up playing together. That's kind of really the big thing I'm looking at. And so, with that being the case, the Buffs are working on the trenches, it looks like, first, getting a nice linebacker look with French, looking at some offensive linemen, and getting that shored up as you start to prepare to, hire staff. Huge deal. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. You think that the Buffs are going to be able to get Coleman on campus? How do you feel about the prospects? Think that they fit what Prime is doing? Hopefully something gets closed over the weekend, but we shall see. This video is powered by our partners at BetUS. Check them out. They're hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit of $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. All right. We'll have more videos coming up over the week. We'll talk about, what the portal looked like as some players from Colorado has hit it. We'll drop something on that tomorrow. We'll look at what's left in the portal before the visitors come this weekend, as far as players that have left, players that have come in, and see truly what's needed to be added to the roster. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And check out the last video I did with Dukes. It's up there. Another good time. And we'll talk soon.